Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Aisha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Yo, what's happening? Another episode of Habari Live. This is Habari Wednesday, and we're going to go through the top stories and news that's been going on throughout the week. Like always, we're all the way live in Phoenix, Arizona, and we're going to do what it do, man, and we're going to talk about some of the things that's going on, and for sure, we're going to talk about Trump and his issues that he's having with this war. He's telling us that we won already, while also sending over troops, while also bombs are still dropping. So it's kind of a contradiction. He's telling us every day he's destroyed their military, he destroyed everything, but we keep on asking for money. 200 billion is the new amount that he's asked for. So I mean, if the war is over and everything is done, the hell are we doing? And why are we still having issues getting ships through the Strait of Hormuz? Doesn't make any sense. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it and go through it a little. But first, man, we're going to play. First, we're going to go to the top stories from Aisha over there. Let's get it going.
For sure. We had a few stories that caught my eye this week, but I'm just going to go through the first four stories, or the top four stories that caught my eye, starting with advocates are sounding the alarm at the Capitol here in Arizona, saying that rent is rigged. And rent is rigged is what they're saying. And they saying that the housing costs are continuing to surge across Arizona, and a growing coalition is urging lawmakers to step in with stronger tenant protections, including rent stabilization measures and increased oversight on corporate landlords. Critics argue that the current market is leaving working families priced out of the markets, while lawmakers remain divided on how far the state should go on regulating rent prices in the state.
Oh man, it's a tough situation, man. All those companies, like what was it, Greystar and all these other real estate apartment owning companies that did such a great job, and they got caught, and a lot of them were sued, and they were found liable for running up the rent. And they had a whole group of people together, and they came up with a idea to get the rent raised during COVID. And they plan went through, and they did their thing, and they got their money together. And yeah, man, they really did hurt us, a lot of people in Arizona and across the nation. And people just can't afford rent, man. And it's still like that right now, as people are having issues. The homeless is growing at astronomical rates, and we're seeing so many people that's hurting, man, and don't have a place to go. And these companies, like always, they don't care about the normal people. They just care about their money. And it's ridiculous, man. Hopefully something happens, because people can't afford what's going on right now. No one can afford their rent. No one can afford anything. So it's tough. No one wants to see all these homeless people camping outside. All the crap that we seeing right now, man, is insane. And we got people just living outside in tents. And our answer is get a job, pull yourself up. But man, it's tough with the rates of rent. When we got studios going for $1,000 for one studio, like in Arizona and Phoenix,
A one bedroom.
like, come on, man, a studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Yeah, but shit's bad. So we got to figure out something, man. But these people, they're making this money. they're not going to go back on those things. They want their money. So we'll see what happens, man. But I have low thoughts on what it's going to come out to, because my expectations are low. I'm sorry, because I've never seen anything go down in this country. It always goes up. Things never go down. The companies get used to that amount of money that they're getting. They say, "Oh, people will pay this now," and they never change.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's the new normal, and that those are the things that happens, and it never goes back to normal. But hopefully, maybe if they can pass some type of legislation to make these companies, these companies and these owners go back on to how much money they're getting for rent.
Right. I definitely agree with you there. Moving on, a shocking and tragic incident at New York's LaGuardia Airport is under investigation after a crash involving an Air Canada aircraft that left more than one person dead. And in the remarkable survival story, one of the flight attendants who was aboard the flight was thrown from the plane during the chaos, but she is expected to recover. Federal investigators are now working to determine what caused the deadly accident, but at this point, it's looking like the aircraft collided with a fire truck who did not have the correct communications on board in order to let them know that, hey, we were on tarmac.
I thought it was they told them to go, and at the last minute, the operator said no. They just messed up. The people were short staffed like always, and
So a miscommunication with
the
control
controller
staff,
right?
Okay.
And it's another situation under the Trump administration where the air controllers are not doing a good job. Maybe they're overworked. Maybe I don't know what's going on, man. But we've seen an uptick of plane crashes. We've seen an uptick of things that's going wrong when it comes to air traffic control. And we don't know what the Trump administration is doing, but it seems like it's not good. And we're seeing too many planes falling out of the air, too many things happening on these tarmacs, too many things that's going wrong. And to not think that it's not the dude who was from Real World Road Rules, the guy from MTV,
Right.
who's in charge, which is ridiculous. And then they talk about DEI. This dude has no idea what the fuck he's doing
At all.
But this is who we have in charge, man, and this is it's not looking good.
It's really
looking
not.
really bad, and people are getting hurt because of incompetence at the top. And another crash, and then 2 people passed in this, man. So it's tough, and I know it's tough on the air controllers. That someone died because of what they said do,
Right.
or that's tough, man. And it's a tough job, and then you have to do this job, and you're getting this job. You're doing this job on no sleep, and you're working more than you're supposed to. I think it was all the way back in the days in the 80s during Reagan, where they kind of destroyed the air controllers union, because Republicans hate unions. And
of course they do.
I think they went on strike, and Reagan fired most of them, and it's never been the same since. So I mean, it's tough, and it's really tough now under this Trump administration, who are bringing ICE, because they can't figure out how to do it, get a deal together with the Democrats to open back the government. These guys are in control. They have control of the Senate, the Congress, and the White House, and they're sitting around talking about, oh, it's the Democrats' fault every time it's a shutdown. Nah, man, it's your fault. You're supposed to negotiate. You think that you're just supposed to get your way because you have control of the Congress and Senate, so you could just do what you want, but that's not the way it works. There are other people who are part of government who want things also.
Right.
And not right now, the Democrats are like, we want ICE. We want ICE to different. We want them to do things differently. And you just can't do whatever you want to. That's not the way this country is ran. So he's going to fight against that. And so he's putting ICE at the airports. And, it's just more chaos, man. And I saw a video of a couple dudes from ICE running, trying to get away from the cameras. you know, because they ain't want to be on camera. But, you know, you're at the airport without your mask on. What do you think is going to happen?
Right.
Everybody wants to know who you guys are. You've been running around causing chaos for months.
Mm-hmm.
So what you got next?
For sure. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about the major legal decision that could reshape the tech industry as a whole. A jury has found Meta and YouTube negligent in a groundbreaking lawsuit over social media safety. The case centered on claims that the platform algorithms contributed to harm, particularly among its young users. Legal experts are saying that this ruling could also open the door for more lawsuits and an increased regulation of big tech.
You know, the Republican Party, they really believe in no regulations. They keep saying no regulation, no regulation, no reg. They think that you don't need rules or laws and regulations. Let the companies just do what they want to. But then things like this happen, people get hurt and things happen. What do? They get sued. They got to pay the money.
Which means they got to add additional regulations.
Exactly. And if they would have had regulations in the first fucking place, then it would, maybe some of these things wouldn't have happened. Right. Maybe this person would still be alive. But dude, I mean, it's ridiculous. We saw Mark Zuckerberg running up to Trump, you know, so he kissing Trump ass, you know what I'm saying? Talking trash about Biden, trying to make him put in regulations on his website. Maybe you needed those regulations,
right,
bro.
Exactly.
You keep fighting, saying, oh, people can just do and say what they want on my site. Okay. When somebody get hurt, it's going to be your fault.
Your fault.
And this goes for Elon Musk. It's going to come to him too, because he's letting people just say and do and whatever they want, do whatever you want. It's going to be some consequences for those decisions. And these guys, they keep on saying, oh, let people just say, okay. People causing riots. People are getting killed because of things that are being said on these sites. And you guys don't want to think that you don't need to police your sites.
Right.
Well, the courts are going to be finding different ways every time. And I don't know, maybe you should do something to try to regulate your site.
That's a pretty good idea. I give that to you there. Moving on, lastly, back in Arizona, a new anti-bullying bill is moving through the state legislature. And if passed, it would give students and parents the right to take legal action against schools who fail to properly address bullying. Supporters say that it's adding accountability and protection for the victims, while opponents warn that it could lead to excessive lawsuits and strains on the school resources.
Man, I swear Republicans come up with anything to try to fuck public schools. Anything. Now, I when I first heard this, I thought you were going to say they're going to sue the parents, because that fucking makes sense.
Right.
But you're going to sue the school? Like, oh, what the fuck are we supposed to fucking do? We see something happen, we suspend the kid when it happens, but we can't be mind readers on what's going on, especially if the kid is not informing us. How the fuck we supposed to know?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you just gonna put it on the school and then sue them and hope they can lose everything, and then fuck everybody in the neighborhood. They lose their school because it's been sued. Now it has less money to budget and to buy things and whatever else.
Speaking of the
so how fucking dumb is that?
Right. Exactly. It's very dumb. But speaking of that public school budget, there is a bill that I forget which senator it is, but they've proposed that the Arizona public schools spend 60% of their budget mainly on teacher pay. They already spend 51.2% of their current budget on teacher pay. So they want them to spend even more than half of their budget on teachers' pay. And investing in the school.
If you want the teachers to have more pay, give the schools more money and more budget to be able to pay the teachers more. I don't understand what the fuck they're trying to do. That's silly shit.
Right.
I mean, the schools are already losing money daily, how are you trying to give them more money to pay the teachers who already aren't getting paid a lot, and the schools are already having budget issues, and you're going to make them pay? Like, but then you turn around and say you don't want to help them when we did Red Ed and we passed for them to get more money from the state. You all turned that around and said you're not doing that. But the schools are supposed to come up with this money to pay them more. Like, I just don't get their logic ever, man. The taxpayers paid for a tax increase for
that would have allowed the teachers to get their pay.
more money,
right?
And they said no, we're not doing that.
Right.
So then you turn around, and the schools that are hurting have no money. They're supposed to pay it. What are y'all talking about? Obviously, they don't have the budget for this shit
at all.
I mean, what is the math at on this?
Math ain't mathin'.
What the fuck, man? So I'm broke as fuck, and I'm supposed to come up with another 11% out of my budget that is already tight to give the teachers more money. And you won't. The people voted to raise the taxes to have more money to go to the teachers, and you guys said no. Like, why do y'all put so much on the back of these public schools? Like, they're just trying to kill them. They want them dead. They want public school gone. That's their mission. It's their mission. They want us all unable to read. I mean, this is their mission. Unless you can go to private school and pay for private school, or you're accepted to some of these other schools, they just want you dumb as hell. I mean, period. That has to be the plan. When you're knowing these budget crunched these schools are, and you're going to say, come up with 11% more to pay the teachers. That's the bill. Pay them. Then you blaming the schools, talking about, if you don't get bullies, we're going to sue you again. Right. Now, we all know bullies is bad, man. But at the same time, the school is not the local police.
At all.
So you should be going to the local police for something like this, especially if they're getting bullied or beat up.
You would think.
I mean, the school is not the police. It's crazy how much they put on the school. The school is supposed to do everything. And it's supposed to be the church. It's supposed to be the police. Like, quit it, man. All right, man. Let's go on to the next one. For sure. All right, so then we're going to talk about this war a little bit, man. So let's play this video. It's Education 1. And it's going to talk a little bit about what we're going to talk about here.
Now, democracynow.org. As the U.S. and Israeli war on Iran enters its 26th day, the Pentagon's deploying up to 3,000 paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne Division to the Middle East. In addition, 2,500 troops from the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit are heading to the region, are expected to arrive later this week. Another 4,500 troops, along with 3 more ships, are expected to arrive in the coming weeks. This comes as speculation is growing the U.S. might attempt to seize Kharg Island, a key Iranian oil export hub. The deployments come amid some diplomatic developments. Pakistani officials say Iran's received a 15-point ceasefire proposal from the U.S., but top Iranian officials have denied Trump's claim that direct negotiations have already begun between Iran and the U.S. On Tuesday, Trump claimed Iran had agreed to never have a nuclear weapon, but offered no details. Meanwhile, Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, has announced Israel plans to occupy all of South Lebanon south of the Litani River. Israel's far-right finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, has called for the Litani River to become Israel's new border with Lebanon. We're joined right now by retired Master Sergeant Wes Bryant, who spent 20 years in the U.S. Air Force as a Special Operations Targeting Specialist. Bryant served as the Chief of Civilian Harm Assessment at the Pentagon from 2024 to 25 before the office was dissolved. We thank you so much for being with us. If you can start off by that first day of U.S.-Israeli strikes on Iran, because this goes to you being an expert on targeting, and the killing of at least 175 people, overwhelmingly primary school girls in southern Iran.
Go ahead, bring us back. Yeah, man. So I just wanted you to get the top story on that, to see where this war is headed right now. And you know, we listen to Donald Trump, like I said earlier, and he's telling us that it's over. You know, everything's all good. The war is over. We destroyed everything, and everything's done. But as we see also in the backstory, they're talking about taking over islands. They're talking about sending more troops. So, I mean, we have contradicting stories that's going on that's coming out of the Trump administration right now, and no one knows what to believe. We're talking about, it looks like, a possible expansion of this fucking war, and 1,000 U.S. troops are being deployed. They're calling them from the
Paratroopers.
paratroopers from the 87th, I think they said, is coming, and they're being deployed. The Pentagon restricting press access because they don't want anyone to be able to tell what's going on.
Right.
So, and a situation where the government says negotiations are happening while the other side says they aren't happening. This is one of those moments where history could be moving in real time, because when troops start moving, when the media starts getting pushed out, and when the public doesn't support the war, what exactly is going on? And that's when you need to pay close attention to what kind of moves the administration is making on the back end. And we see that, man. We see the buildup. We see what they're doing. And we're seeing the troops that's going there, the ships. But the Pentagon is preparing to send, like I said, 1,000 soldiers from the 82nd, not 87th Airborne Division to the Middle East. Not advisors, not observers, not humanitarian teams, but paratroopers. The 82nd Airborne. And they're one of the fastest deploying combat units in the U.S. military. They can be anywhere in the world in less than 18 hours. Efficient. But according to reports, between 3,000 and 4,000 troops could be sent, adding to the roughly 50,000 U.S. troops aligned in the region and already in the region. And this comes while the White House says negotiations are happening. But like I said, Iran, they're saying there's no talks being going on. So the question becomes, are we moving toward peace or preparing for a larger war? And we look at the what's going on, it looks like we're going into a larger war. Because those two things usually don't happen at the same time. When you bring in troops and you're also saying that we're getting peace, that doesn't really make any sense.
Right, exactly, because the sources are saying that the military is looking at options that include things like securing the Strait of Hormuz, deploying forces near Iran's shoreline, possibly targeting Crag Island, where most of Iran's oil exports go through. And they're even planning on operations inside of the Iranian territory. That last part matters a lot, because once the U.S. troops enter another country's territory, that's not a strike, that's full-on war. And remember, this conflict only has been going on for just a few weeks. We're only in our 26th, 27th day. We're less than 30 days in. But already, thousands of strikes have been carried out. U.S. troops have been killed. Hundreds have been wounded. Global markets have reacted. Oil prices have jumped. They've fallen. And allies are divided. Real divided. But that's how this war is going to grow. Not all at once. Step by step. Deployment by deployment.
And Americans, they're not really supporting this war. We know that most of MAGA, they turned on themselves, and they're all, pro-war after screaming for 4 years that they were anti-war, and they were tired of paying for foreign wars, and they didn't want to help foreign people. They said, forget Ukraine. We don't care anything about them or what's going on with them. And if Putin takes them, whatever. They just get taken over. If they get all killed, whatever. We don't care. But now they've grown a heart and they care about the Iranian people. Like it's amazing to see. And I don't know, man. I've never seen anything like it. We have so many people. Put a chat in there to see if it comes up.
I've put several chats in there and they're not coming up. But we did just get one from Rosalind. She said the war needs to be stopped immediately.
Yeah. I wish the war would be stopped immediately. Put his show on stream. I don't know. Why it's not working. But anyway,
Okay, so it looks like they're gonna come up there. Maybe.
but you can bring it back. That looks dumb.
This isn't one of those black MAGA channels, is it?
No, we are definitely not MAGA. Democrats, nothing but power bottom pussies. Oh God. Right, yeah. The people who, like I just said, were screaming anti-war. You can close that. Who was screaming anti-war, but now all of a sudden you guys are ready for war. So it's really insane to hear you guys call somebody pussies when you guys don't stand by anything that you scream. You screamed and screamed and screamed. You was against foreign wars.
He said, "Thank God."
And you guys are turning around quickly. Oh, for sure. And becoming bootlickers fast. Like you guys don't have any backbone at all. And it's crazy to hear you call somebody else names when you guys have no spine. You were against wars. You're supposed to be telling Trump the same thing. But now it's, oh yeah, we need to go to this war. We want to save the people of Iran. Yeah, that's what we want to do. We should be. Y'all were just saying you shouldn't police the world 10 minutes ago.
They were screaming no need to wars 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. No, they don't want wars. Like, dude, it's these
now
people,
it's
man.
Bring in the Marines
Right.
now. They some goofy MFs.
Dog, goofy as hell. And then want to call somebody else names.
Right.
Where the goalposts move consistently and constantly with the Republican Party. But here's the part that makes this even more serious, man. Public support for the U.S. strikes on Iran is low. Only MAGA and the maggots are with it. A recent poll show only about 35% approve, more than 60% disapprove, and that means most Americans do not want this conflict. And yet, here we are. We're still in it. Troops are still being sent anyway. They don't have Congress's approval. They still sending more bombs. That is important because President Trump ran on the idea that he would avoid new Middle East wars. He lied to y'all. And y'all still kissing his butt. If this was a Democratic president, we'll be tearing his ass apart. But the Republicans don't have anything except fall behind the king. And whatever he says is gold. And we'll run with it like he's God. He criticized past presidents. Him and J.D. Vance, they called them stupid and dummies and dumb wars and all the shit they said about them. He criticized all of them. Said the presidents used to get us into stupid overseas conflicts that we get stuck in. But now we are watching the same pattern again. They're building up the military. We don't really have a fucking goal of what we are doing. We have conflicting statements coming out of their administration. Talks that may not exist and no clear exit plan. We don't know what the hell is going on.
Right.
But we've seen this movie before. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, and every time it starts with the same sentence, this will be limited.
Yep.
They never know how the things are going to plan. War is ugly. War is uncontrollable. War is unplannable. You never know what's going to happen.
Carpe Diem said the U.S. dollar has depreciated 15% against all other global currencies since last year.
Wow. Well, I mean, this is what Trump does. I mean, they said that we can't pay our bills. You know, I mean, we're not looking good as a country right now. And these guys told us, and he's telling us we're winning, and oh, it's so much winning, and the golden age, and the Trumpers believe it. But we all know the truth. We all see the truth. This is trash, man.
Yep. But the White House says that negotiations are happening. Iran says that negotiations are not happening. And the truth might be nobody knows. Because sometimes governments say that talks are happening to calm the markets down. And sometimes they say that the talks are happening just to buy them extra time. But sometimes they say that talks are happening to make war look like it's the last option. But when troops are moving and ships are moving and weapons are involved and also moving into play, that usually means that the military is preparing for more, not less. And that's why this situation feels like it's pretty unstable.
Mm-hmm.
And because diplomacy sounds like it's happening, but the military buildup is saying something different, you have a lot of confusion among the people.
That's right. Yeah, man. And the Pentagon, they've him and Pete Hegseth, they've done a lot to try to block the media and the people from the media from getting any access to the Pentagon or the people that are running the Pentagon. No one can talk to these people. They're kicking out the press. A judge the last week said that they stomped on these people's First Amendment rights to be able to report on what's going on in the government. They are still kicking people out, and they still don't want anyone now. I think everyone has been removed. So, I mean, it's another story that should leave everyone concerned. Everyone should be upset about what's going on.
Every Democratic president lowers the deficit and gives us deflation, is what one of the comments is saying.
Mm-hmm.
The next comment says that he has already increased the national debt to $47.78 trillion,
Mm-hmm.
adding $5 trillion in the last year alone.
Yeah, we're sorry. For some reason, our comments is not coming up today, so we can't show you guys comments like normal. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's not working. But anyway, the Pentagon is closing the area reporters have used for decades to cover the military. They're just closing it down. It's called the Correspondence Corridor, and they are shutting the door on the corridor. Journalists who have worked there for years are being moved out after a judge ruled against the government in a lawsuit about press access. Instead of expanding access like the judge said that they should do, they are not listening to the judge, and they're doing the opposite by restricting the Pentagon even more. This matters, man. The most transparent president in the world and the most transparent president ever keeps on blocking access to press. It's crazy. I mean,
it doesn't sound like free speech to me.
I mean, don't look like transparency either. But this is what these guys are telling us. They're transparent and while blocking access to all reporters and all media. Because when the military is preparing for war, this is what's supposed to be going on. The journalists, the writers, they are the people that takes us into what is going on. And they are trying their best to block them from getting access so they can tell the story that they want to tell. And this is exactly when the public needs all this information. They're not less information. We need more information about who we are sending our kids against, and what our kids are getting themselves into. And for these guys to think that they can just take America's children and America's young people and send them off to wherever they want to for whatever reason they want, and they don't have to give any explanation to anyone, it's craziness. But this is what authoritarian regimes do. When reporters get pushed out, it becomes harder to know what's really happening, and America is really not getting the real story. And we know history shows, man, wars are easier to start when people don't see them clearly.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what's going on, man. The wool is being put over the American people's eyes. We can't see exactly what's going on.
Carpe Diem says the U.S. Treasury Department has declared the U.S. debt insolvent, meaning that we currently have no way to decrease the deficit.
Yeah, man. I mean, when you keep on giving the rich more and more tax breaks, and we tell you, and these people are supposed to be the deficit hawks, and you tell them, hey, if you decrease the taxes again, we're not going to be able to pay our fucking bills.
Which is exactly what he just mentioned.
They keep doing it.
Exactly. And he just mentioned that the U.S. interest on our debt is now too high to pay off with our current tax system.
Yeah.
Meaning we're going to need to raise taxes.
You have to.
Across the board.
You have to. I mean, you have to. Only the last time we had a surplus was when the taxes were raised by Bill Clinton. And ever since then, every president except Obama has lowered taxes for the rich. Now, Obama kept that in place, and Biden kept it in place, and I wish they would have did more to raise the taxes on the rich. But, this is what we're seeing, man. This is what's going on. I think you're next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. But there are three things happening right now at the same time. Troops are being deployed, the press access is being restricted, and the public doesn't support the war at all. Majority of them don't. So that combination there is very dangerous, because when leaders don't have that public support, they sometimes move faster than they normally would, not slower. And when that information is limited, people can't push back and say, no, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. I don't agree. This is where that transparency comes in that Trump so, highly ran on during his campaign. I'm going to be the most transparent administration ever, right? It's not what we're getting. And this is why the press matters. This is why asking the hard questions also matter.
Mm-hmm.
Not because you want any type of conflict to go on between anyone, or not because history shows that conflict happens because you're asking questions, but because history shows that the worst decisions happen when no one is watching.
Mm-hmm.
And that's dangerous. Very dangerous.
Yeah, man. So we see what's going on. I don't know the rest of the. Yeah, we see what's going on, and we see the problems that we are having in this country with transparency, with good reporting, with the media. We're also seeing, the Ellisons going around buying up everything, buying up all the media is done, buying all the media and doing everything, and CBS, and you see the Trump administration being very happy about the Ellisons being able to buy CNN, which I think it should be blocked. I mean, Paramount is just buying up everything. They bought BT. They're just gonna buy everything. How is it gonna work out that this one company has all the media, all the news companies, everything, man? Why are we allowing this to happen?
Right.
It should be so many different news companies. We can't have one company that controls the mass amount of media. And this is what's going on with this Ellison thing and them being able to buy Warner Brothers. Paramount, man, nobody wants Paramount, but they're trying to buy up the things that people do want to watch. They said they were going to sue Netflix and sue Warner Brothers, and they were bullying people. Trump's bullying people. They just doing everything they can for they can take over CNN and just post only good things about Trump and say only good things about Trump. We see that CBS News are having issues with their
parent company.
With their ratings, as people are not they don't trust CBS anymore, because as these new people have taken over, people don't trust their news.
Right.
Then they're hiding stories, taking stories down. Like, this is garbage. This is not the America that everybody knows when it comes to news. No president has put their foot in these situations to try to weigh it to his approval. And man, this is crazy. The president trying to control the media. And we got his people clapping like seals, loving it, as this guy tries to take over the everything. And why he wants to? Because he don't like embarrassing news. And every move he make is embarrassing because they're incompetent.
Very.
So, I mean, what else do you see? What else comments we got over there?
Carpe Diem said that the United States assets are approximately worth $7 trillion. But we are $40 trillion in the hole. And we also never paid for the first war in the Middle East.
Still paying for it.
Still paying for it. Right. But $3.8 billion minimum to Israel in subsidies annually. And that doesn't even include the special projects funding that they get on top of that in addition.
Yeah, man, I don't get it. I mean, these people, when a Democrat is in power, that's all they talk about is the deficit. Every time. Democrats are in there. They the
but
ones
we lower the deficit every single
they
time.
They lower the deficit every time. Republican get in there, give tax breaks to their homeboys, and it just explodes. And then they get out of office. Oh, look at it. Look at the deficit. And the Democrats aren't doing anything. Like, it's ridiculous. They get in office. We don't even remember what deficit. What do you mean? What do you mean? Just start spending like fucking crazy people at damn Macy's. It's ridiculous. Throwing money everywhere. Look like a street club, the Club Rhino on a Friday night. The way these people throwing around money.
Not Club Rhino on a Friday night.
Yeah. Because that's what it looked like, man. These people, the Republicans, go crazy. And then they're crying about everyone else, man. A Democrats in there, Joe Biden spending too much money helping Ukraine. They fiscal hawks. We care about the money. We care about the deficit. Their president gets in, the shit go the opposite way. More and more money is getting added to the deficit. And they don't just shrug their shoulders. So what? What? That's why we can't talk to you people. Because you all do not stand on anything. And you don't make your president stand on any principles. Ever. When George Bush was in there, y'all was, war, America. He gets out of office, that WMD shit, that was some bullshit. Yeah, it was, yeah. Oh, but when it was going on, you was raising flags and waving flags. Oh, you got to be American. You're being anti-America. We're attacking the wrong people. We're going to war with Iraq. That has nothing to do with what's going on in 9/11.
Right.
But they still waving flags. Yeah. This is how they are, man. It is ridiculous to try to argue with people who just always move the goalposts. Shit's sad, man. But what do you?
You don't understand the tariffs.
Oh God. Trump don't understand the tariffs, and none of his people that follow him gets it. I mean, how many times it's been explained? How many times? We pay the tariffs. They said every household is paid at least $1,000 towards tariffs last year.
Right.
We pay the tariffs. It's so dumb. Like the other day, Australia and the UK made a trade deal. They agreed on how many tariffs the countries would pay. It was a negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it's supposed to be. You talk it out. You negotiate with the countries. You have a deal. Trump just, blanket tariffs on everybody.
Yep.
That's not how you negotiate with countries. We already know it's bad because you just put blanket tariffs. You didn't look at nothing. What do we trade from them? What do we buy for them? What do we import? What do we export? Didn't look at any of those things. Just blanket tariffs. So we know just off of that, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Because every tariff you put on should be a negotiation that you should be talking to these countries, figuring out what's the best way for us economically to make money and not see our people pay more for the product, but a fair way to make sure that we can stay competitive and they also can make some money at the same time. That's what you're doing when you're importing, exporting. You're making deals with these countries to make sure that you don't lose, but so also the country that are trying to trade with us, they win, and we both have a win-win situation. When both people leave the negotiation table unhappy, we know that the good negotiation has happened and not one person was bent over. But when it comes to these tariffs, Trump just wants to be a bully, and he wants to bully all these countries. And then the money, it's not even helping us. What is he doing with it? And right now it's being held up by a judge because they're saying that you may have to pay all these companies back because the companies were eating most of the tariffs in the beginning. And as time goes on, they go ahead and disperse those tariff dollars onto their customers because they can't keep eating the tariff dollars. Millions of dollars that these companies have paid toward these horrible tariffs. And we'll see what happens. But we're probably going to go back to court and fight it out because these companies want their money. And Trump just bragging about it, how he took this money from he He just taxed them. Like, it's so silly. While giving his homeboys a tax break, he raises the taxes for anybody that's trying to purchase or buy something. Just switch the taxes. It's so dumb. Dumb. And like I said, we don't have no idea where this tariff money is going to or how it's going to be allocated. He said, oh, we're going to give checks to everybody. Maybe we'll do. He don't know what the fuck he's going to do. That's why he's just talking out of the side of his neck, because he has no idea. Terrible planning, terrible economics. And we are paying the price for these people thinking that this guy knows 4D chess or knows even fucking checkers. This dude don't know shit. So, I mean, it's embarrassing, man. And every Trump supporter should be embarrassed. They should wear a bag everywhere they go over their head with "I voted Trump" over it, because you should be embarrassed. It's like voting for a team that's going 0-82 and you keep voting for them. They done lost every game. Now, how the Cub fans used to show up to their games with a bag on their head because they embarrassed. And that's the way that you motherfuckers should go everywhere. You should put a bag over your head that says "I voted Trump," and you should be embarrassed about the way things are going and how shit is going right now. And all of you who try to take up for him, I look at yourself in the mirror, because this shit is ridiculous. Period.
I agree. Go. I agree. Go sit somewhere in a corner with a dunce hat on that says "I voted for Trump."
Man, I'm serious. Y'all talk so much shit about Biden. You talked and talked and talked and talked and said, Biden is so horrible. Oh my God, Sleepy Joe, he's so bad. Trump sleep in the meetings, slumped over.
He be sleep during the press conference.
Sleep. Got bruises all on his hand, all on his neck.
Can't walk straight.
Ankles as big as his tires. Like, he just, bro, look bad. And he falling down the steps, can't even get up out his seat. And they, oh, Sleepy Joe, they disrespected this dude for 4 years. And then it's oh, we're, well, this dude should be held to the same standard that y'all held Joe Biden to. And we're going to shit on him every time we see him.
Just like y'all did
Just
Biden.
like y'all did Biden. And Biden didn't talk shit about no one.
No one.
He didn't disrespect anyone. But they hate him. And Trump sits around and talks about everyone. Look how he talked about Robert Mueller after he passed. Just because the dude was doing his job and following cases that was there. You're a criminal, dog, and you're mad at people that went after you as a criminal and prosecuted you. You're going to talk shit up. You could have just not said anything, but he had to say something. I'm glad he's dead.
Good,
like,
I'm glad.
Okay.
But said he was going to sue anybody that talked junk about Charlie Kirk.
Right. Anybody that says anything bad about Charlie, they're supposed to pay the price. But he can shit on whoever dies. He shits on everybody that dies. He doesn't care. McCain, he shitted on him. He doesn't care. He doesn't care who dies. He will shit on you. Like the actor who was killed by his kids, shitted on him. Like it's consistent. He doesn't care about people dead. He don't care. Like, fuck that dude. He deserved to die. I wish it would have happened earlier. And then the same people, that's embarrassing. They're talking about Charlie Kirk. Like, what? What? From you people? Who don't care about anyone's life. Y'all shit on everyone. Y'all don't care if they're alive, dead. You don't care.
Very classless.
I mean, it's, disgusting, disgusting stuff. I couldn't believe if my president that I voted for said the things that this president said, everything I would be doing would be against him. I'm against him now. Because that's disgusting. I can't believe I voted for a person who would shit on someone's death, even if they don't agree with him. This is the time where you're supposed to be an upstanding citizen. You're supposed to show some type class, some type decorum. Like, what is going on? The dude shows nothing. He shits on everybody.
Right.
Everybody. And what did he say about Jesse Jackson? A whole bunch of bullshit. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't lower the flags for bro. And there's a lot of people, Trump and Jesse Jackson are friends. Like, shut the fuck up. He don't give a fuck about Jesse Jackson.
Right.
He didn't go to that man's funeral. He didn't put the flags half-staff.
He didn't provide condolences.
They didn't.
Nothing.
He was supposed to have a state state burial and be, buried. And no, they wouldn't do it. I think the state he was from will do it. But federal is like, nah, we ain't gonna do nothing for Jesse. But they wanted to do everything for Charlie Kirk, who has done nothing for anyone but himself. Charlie Kirk's he's everywhere, on the building of education. He's on everything. But Jesse Jackson, who has dedicated his life to help those who couldn't help themselves, they shit on him. Like, this administration, man, they are a wild bunch, man. And it's a lot of people who sit around and try to take up for these people. When we see their actions, we see how they are. And what they are is just disgusting. What other comment we got?
Bullshit. Talk about the good stuff he did, but obviously you won't.
He hasn't done anything good. In my eyes, you guys think it's good that he's blocked the border and no one's at the border, even though you guys don't even live on the border. It was such a worry for you because you just was seeing brown people into the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, man, that doesn't bother me. And I live in a border state.
Yep.
But these, you people were so scared, y'all were losing your mind. And that's the only thing that he has done that he put forth. He stopped the flow of people at the border. No one's coming here. But he's also stopped all travel coming to America. He stopped Canadians coming here, Europeans, everyone. No one is coming here.
No one wants to be a tourist in America.
Vegas
right
is
now.
dead, dying, losing money. And just like the first time he was in office, everybody that's in hospitality and anything that has to do with bringing people to America losing money because no one wants to come here. That's not good either. I mean, people are losing businesses because nobody wants to travel to America. Canadians have stopped coming. They can't stop coming to Phoenix. We've lost so much money in Phoenix because the Canadians stopped coming. And they were a big part of what we do in this city. We've lost them because Trump talking trash about them. We're seeing distilleries and alcohol companies in Kentucky having to shut down because they sold a lot of whiskey in Canada.
They did.
And the new generation of kids, they're not drinking. They're not drinking like that in America. So those are losses we take because this guy wanted to stop everybody from coming in the country.
I agree, Nikki. Trump is a failure. How does a casino fail?
Right. He's been bankrupt, 6 or 7 times? Now he's bankrupt the country. We can't pay our bills. We can't get out of like, dude.
This is just sad.
And like I said, man, y'all should just put a paper bag over your head. All Trump voters. Just put a paper bag over your head, man. And when people see you, we should be able to hit you with a stocking with a sock in it, and everybody just walk around smacking y'all up against the head for putting us in this situation, telling us how great he's gonna put. It's gonna be so great. And it's been nothing but ass. And it's just ridiculous that you guys fell for this shit again. Fell for the banana in the tailpipe again. You never fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
They fall for it.
Twice.
Hook, line, and sinker every time.
With 2 times. The dude is just ripping his country off. He's making money hand over fist with his cryptocurrency. And we're just sitting here helpless, can't do nothing. As Jared Kushner putting money all in his pocket, all in the Middle East. Like, the shit is disgusting. Taking planes from Qatar. And we're just, well, it's fraud in Minnesota. Fraud in Minnesota, those Somalians. We're getting fleeced. We are getting fleeced by this administration, man. They are taking all the money out the back door. And we're allowing them. Some people are clapping. Yay. At least Donald is fucking us. Yay. Steal all our money, Donald. Yeah.
He said she loved a movie analogy. Next comment. This is the golden age of America for the Trump crime family.
Man, we're the whole country is getting golden showers. That's what we're getting. That's the we getting pissed on.
Right.
That's what we're getting.
Where's my tariff rebate?
Man.
Where's my Doge check?
Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath because it's not coming. It's not coming. Ain't no Doge check, none of that shit coming. This dude has lied over and over. And you see the videos coming out of Doge to see the people that was in Doge making decisions for who was fired.
Right.
These guys are straight. I mean, they're smart to a certain aspect, but you can see the ignorance they have on other people's lives that are not rich like they are. The way they couldn't answer the question of what DEI even is, but they're cutting projects, they're cutting money, funding based on ideals of DEI. And in their head, if it talked about a different race or it helped a different race, it was DEI and had to be cut. And that's the way they was making decisions. Oh, it was helping black people, so that was DEI. Oh, it was helping Asians in Korea, that's DEI. We're cutting that. They're cutting things just by, I mean, it's, what are you talking about? This is aid, you idiot. I mean, what?
Right.
It's insane. But
why
this
didn't
is
one
what
Democrat vote for the big beautiful bill when there's middle class tax cuts?
No, the fuck it ain't. Only thing he did for the regular people was he put in the no tax on overtime, and I think it was one more. No tax on overtime, and I forget the other one. I think it was one more thing he didn't put in, but it was
no taxes on Social Security.
Yeah, no taxes on Social
disability.
Security. There was no tax break for the middle class. There was a tax break for the top 1%, like always. Like always. There was no tax break for us. In fact, the way he moved money around, taking money from Medicaid, taking money from SNAP benefits, these things are going to hurt us more. It's going to hurt us more. We're going to pay more because of the things that he's put in place. More hospitals, more doctors are going to be moved out of rural areas. The big, beautiful bill is trash. Trash, trash, trash.
We
Another
need
money
immigrants
grab.
once we send U.S. citizens to Iran.
Oh man, I hope that it doesn't get that large. I mean, we've always needed immigrants. They've been hardworking people for years and years and years, and we've always needed them. They've always helped to build this country, to feed this country, and to think that we don't need those people who come here and work hard is ridiculous. And I want every maggot to get out there and work the jobs that those people are working and tell me how you feel after that, because I know you won't be there the next day.
Look, somebody in the comment section just pointed out a very good point. They said no tax on tips. They said the ninja. Who claims taxes on tips?
I don't know.
I used to work for a company where I got tips, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never had to claim taxes on those tips.
I mean, I guess you're supposed to, because that's supposed to be a certain amount of money, but most people just take it under the table.
Look, I understand that most people take it under the table.
Mm-hmm.
You're right about that. But I worked for a corporate office.
Right, and you still just took it under the table. They don't tell you, hey, you got to report that, or
no.
You got to count.
When I went to the IRS to do my taxes, they could see on there that I had tip money, and they didn't take any taxes out of it.
Right.
But it was on my W-2 form.
And the IRS don't see all your W-2 forms. And how they gonna see that unless you give them all? I mean,
well, when you go do your taxes at the end of the year, you file. This is like when I was actually going into the offices.
Okay.
To actually file.
But that wasn't the IRS.
Taxes.
That was a person working for H&R Block or whatever. And they just like, nah, you don't report that.
Yeah, that's what they tell you. Yeah. That's not something that you report. Right. It's not something that we're gonna a tax.
Right. So he's right. No tax on tips. Nobody's really even doing that. But they felt like they were winning. They feel like they're winning. And
it does have an expiration date, and the expiration date is 2028 when Trump leaves office.
Right. And also, like I said, the what was it? The no tax on overtime. Mm-hmm. It had a certain amount that it stopped. And if you were married, that amount was combined.
Capped. Yep.
And capped. There was a cap. So I mean, like I said, it's a decent idea for people who work a lot of overtime. But for those of us who don't work overtime, we don't care.
Right. The billionaire class is squeezing the working class into poverty.
That's what's happening. But they're telling us that it's the people on there's people that's buying Kit Kats with aid and SNAP benefits. That's your problem. They've made the Republicans believe it's the poor people that are the people that is their problem. As they tell them, oh, it's the poor people and they're on SNAP and it's their fault, even though these big tax breaks that we keep giving these rich people are the reason why we have all these problems. And these companies already don't pay taxes. They do everything they can not to pay their taxes. And then we keep giving them tax breaks. These are the reasons why we're seeing this deficit skyrocket. And until we do something about it, and we get a president in there that has balls to raise the fucking taxes, we're going to see this shit, our deficit just balloon. And the kids of the future will be the ones that have to pay for this and deal with this crap. We got to do something, man. We got to do something. But we saw in Florida, Trump's district, that they voted in by mail, him, his son, and his wife by mail, while they're telling you not to vote by mail.
Exactly.
They voted by mail, and they lost. As a Democrat wins the district. Good stuff. Good stuff. So Trump has to live under the Democrat in the district he lived in, which they probably thought was a Republican stronghold, but not anymore. Happily, he lost. We're sick of it, man. People are sick of it. And what the Republicans did this time to get in power was ugly, ugly, ugly. The first time, Trump wasn't as disgusting. He just used it. Obama, he's not from here. He's not a real American. All the little, coded bullshit that the Republicans use. He's not from here. Oh, he's Kenyan. Barack Hussein. Obama used his whole name to make sure they throw that Hussein in there for you could think he a terrorist or some shit. Mm-hmm. That's how they do him. And that's how they won the first time. But this second time was just lie after lie after lie after lie. Just lies.
Nikki said that's the propaganda game, and the dummies buy into it.
Yep. Every time. They taking all your money and say, hey, look, there's a trans guy. He's going into that bathroom. Look. While they fleece all the money out the back door. And you're outraged. Goddamn trans people. Blah, 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 blah. You never even seen one in your whole existence. You sitting here pissed off, mad. Well, it was one of them that came in third place and I came in fifth place because of the goddamn trans people. Looks so stupid. And they taking all the money. Mm-hmm. The rent is rising. They're taking all the farms. They're fleecing the farmers. The farmers can't pay for anything. All the manufacturing that they promised was going to come back, they're closing down. His tariffs are killing them. Like he's killing the people that he said he was going to help. The people on Main Street are still hurting. Groceries, rent, gas. I mean, you can act all you want to, but these gas prices are ridiculous.
Very ridiculous.
And you can, Biden, Biden has a built-in excuse for life. COVID fucking 19.
Yep.
And we all know what was going on. We all know the repercussions. We all know what happened because of that fucking disease. And everybody could sit around and blame him for everything, but he had an excuse. Trump has zero excuses right now. The economy was coming back. We were coming out of the fucking pandemic. Things were getting back to normal. And this dude decided to come back in and put in all these tariffs willy-nilly.
And fuck it all up.
Fuck everything up. Go to war, start bombing everybody. Y'all hated Biden. He was just helping Ukraine. This guy is bombing everybody. He's trying to starve out Cuba. He's hurting them. He want to take them over. He want to take out Green, whatever it's called.
Green New Deal?
No, Iceland, or was it Greenland? Greenland. He trying to take out Greenland. He in Venezuela.
What's up, Ryan?
He's bombing in Nigeria. What's up, Ryan? He's bombing everywhere. And we're just sitting around like, man, this guy is supposed to be the non-war guy. And the Republicans just take it, just bend on over and take it again. They've been screaming no new wars for 4 years. We're sick of the mess, man. Everybody's sick of it. And the Republicans just sit around and we see people like Scott Jennings just sit around and make excuses for the incompetent leadership that we have right now. They obviously did not think. They keep saying, "Oh, we knew about the Strait of Hormuz. We knew that was going to happen." Well, why did you do it then? If you knew that was going to happen, why did you put anything in place to make sure that there was a different route, or maybe make sure that you took power, you took control of that strait before you start bombing other places? You obviously did not have a good enough plan. And they're sitting around scoffing, talking about, "Oh, we knew what we were doing." Obviously, you didn't. Because everyone in the world right now is hurting because they can't get oil from this damn area.
That's why gas $5.39 a gallon.
Hurting us is killing us. But, everybody's going to keep acting like Trump knows what he's doing and the Republicans know what the hell they're doing. We have lines in TSA.
Right.
The government shut down. Say what?
Carpe Diem said he got concepts of plans.
Man.
Nikki said Greenland to steal the minerals, Cuba to put his tacky hotels on the beach.
Yeah, man, it's always a money grab on the back end.
That's what he originally wanted Gaza for.
No, he still wants it. He's going to put Trump hotels all on the Gaza Strip, and they're going to push out the people. That's why they're still bombing them to this day. They're trying to wipe those people out, so they can have their little land. This is what the good people of Israel are doing. The chosen people that they call themselves. They're going to wipe out another group so they can get land that they want. These are the people that we cry and talk about during the Holocaust. And they turn around and do the same shit to someone else in a different version and think we're supposed to have sympathy for what they're doing. A lot of people are against this shit, man. A lot of people see what they are doing, and it is trash.
But gas was $5.02 a gallon in 2022 with no war.
Yeah, it was COVID. COVID was a war. And Joe Biden didn't start COVID, he didn't do anything. He got government back from Trump that was already going through COVID. It was already 2 years in, but it took us 4 years to get out of that mess. So, I mean, you all can sit around and act like, "Oh, gas was high," but we know it was high because of COVID. It wasn't Joe Biden he gained a country that was already on the down because of Trump's horrible leadership and how horrible he did during COVID and all the people that died and are still dying because what they pushed out there about vaccines and not listening to doctors. Now we have a whole group of people running around here, not listening to doctors, don't want their kids to get the necessary vitamins or shots from the doctors. They don't get necessary anything anymore. They know more than doctors. They don't listen to them. We got measles everywhere. Mumps coming back. Well, next thing we gonna start seeing polio because you motherfuckers start so stupid. Y'all don't want to listen to nobody. Do your own research. Do you think you can research fucking polio and figure out what the fuck is wrong with y'all? This shit is it's getting crazy. But no one wants to listen to doctors. No one wants to listen to anyone. Everybody just wants to do what they want to do. I read some shit online. I saw a meme, so I'm not getting my shots. I disagree, man. A lot of people do it. I just disagree. Doctors are doctors because they went to school for years to learn. Scientists, I trust science. I don't trust a dude talking about I did some research on Google. What? You don't even know what you're reading. You don't even know what to read. How did you do some research? And now you know more than everybody. You're not getting any vaccine shots because you read some shit. Come on, man. If it wasn't for vaccines, you know where this country would be. You see the strides we've made over the last 100 and so years because of vaccinations. All the disease that have been eliminated. COVID took us backwards. We were no different than the people who went through the Spanish flu. We had the same issues that they had. Nobody wanted to wear masks then. Nobody wanted the social distance then. We're the same as in 1910, just as dumb. Right. We haven't learned anything. That's crazy. I don't know, man. I just, it's disappointing, man, what this country, you think you think we're going to learn something, you think we're going to be better because of history, but people don't read books and read history. They do some research and some meme online and they think they figured it all out. When you think you figured it all out, you don't know shit. That's the number one thing. Once you think you know everything, you know nothing. When your mind is open to learn every day, that's when you learn new things and you see what's important and you build on the foundations of the things that you were taught before. What you think you done figured out what a doctor has studied for 8 years in 10 minutes, you may want to rethink things.
Ryan said they some Kool-Aid drinkers.
Man.
I told him they drank all the Kool-Aid.
All of it. All the good grape Kool-Aid, man. Drinking it all. Then looking at you like you a crazy bro. Oh, you have TDS. No, bro. Y'all are insane. When your person can do no wrong and you never say anything bad against any decisions he make, you are the Kool-Aid drinker. I don't care what you say. It was many things that we said Biden did wrong, and we pointed out why he was in office. Yep. Many times. But when it's turned over to the Republicans, they can't say a word against their guy.
They never do.
They never will. And he just want good things said about him. He fighting with the media because they're not talking about him good enough. Like, man, get the fuck
Roberts
out of here, man.
said, "What's up, brother?
What's going on, bro?" So, all right, man.
Ryan said, if we didn't go to work for 1 week, the system would crash.
Yeah, my pockets would crash too. So, so that's not a good thing. But yeah, man, I agree with you, man. We are part of the cog. And if it wasn't for us, this system would fail. The whole machine would come down. Yeah. But we don't look at ourselves like that. We look at the rich as the people that control everything. We look at the rich as the people that gives us our jobs and gives us our ability to do what we need to do. And we just kiss their ass and give them everything that they want, even though we know throughout history they've taken advantage of what we give to the system. We have to stand up for our rights, stand up for the things that we believe in, and stand up the things that we deserve. We're working hard. Our production has doubled in the last 50 years. That means we are working twice as hard as the last generation was working and getting less money. We got to keep fighting. And whoever we put in charge next time, they better be talking about universal health care.
Increasing the taxes.
All should be talking about increasing the taxes, definitely. And we also want some child care taken care of.
We need child care caps.
Other countries have it capped at $400 a month.
Right.
And the government take care of anything else above that. We need that in this country, man. We need it. Child care and daycare, all this stuff is way too expensive. We expect people to go to work and not be on aid. But how is these things going to be possible when the child care is so expensive? We got to do better, man. And this way of the Republicans want to go of saying fuck everybody and forget the poor and just keep giving money to the rich people and tax breaks to them obviously isn't working. So hopefully we have a better week, man. And we appreciate all you guys. We appreciate you, Ryan, Carpe Diem, and everybody that commented today. We hope to see you on Saturday early. And we have we're going to switch things up, man. In the next couple of weeks, the set may be looking a little different, but we're going to keep bringing the news to you though, man. We're not stopping doing what we're doing, but we're going to switch up where we're at and how we're doing this thing. But this is not going to stop, man. Habari is still going to keep building, man. And we appreciate everybody that spends time with us. And if you can, please become a member. It's only like $2, man, or so. We're not trying to be greedy. We're just trying to get to a point where we can hire more journalists and more cameramen to get more news out. I don't want to give up on what we want to do, man. It's taken us a little bit and a lot of money that we spent and we haven't got as where we want. But we're going to keep trying to build the news for everyone. And that's what we're about, man, because we're not just about one group or one people. We're about everybody coming together and sharing the love and reporting and talking, discussing what's going on, man. That's what Habari's about. But into Saturday, we'll see you guys next time, 12 o'clock. 11 o'clock sharp a.m. Phoenix time, Arizona time. So I think we're in California time right now. So it's same time as California. So, man, you guys have a good rest of your Wednesday night, and we see you next time. Peace out.
Holla, holla.
One more show and we out of here, man. I'm going to throw this.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.